500 left. There are no more. I have these in stock, obviously, for immediate shipment. This isn't on back order, advanced order. It was brought in exclusively for this moment in time. I have $2,000 Ecoflows, several of them. I have $50, $60, $70 little mini power banks for your phone, several of them. I don't have these. And I think there's a lot of you who have wanted this type of price point, yet this type of quality. I want to power my refrigerator. I want to power the fan or the heater, all these devices, but I don't want to spend $2,000. And I understand that. If you live alone, you buy this. If it's just you and your partner, you buy this. If you're in your apartment, you buy this. If you're in a big country estate, maybe you buy the $2,000 system. But for so many of us, this is going to be an ideal choice. 20 minutes or sell out, whichever happens first. At this rate, it doesn't look like we're gonna make the 20 minutes. We give you 30-day return policy. It is on Flex. One last thing, if you have an HSN credit card, we are doing VIP financing as well. So that brings the price down even more affordably to $33 and change. There is an Ecoflow for every lifestyle, and this is a very, very special one.
And that's why we designed so many of them, because you're right, it fits a need for every type of situation, and every situation is different, and every single life that we touch here at HSN is different. So we wanted to make sure that we had a variety of different sizes and powers, and of course affordability. And that's one of the things that's great about this one. And what you were just seeing about the river, you know, we had 3 different rivers that we were showing you in that little short video. Remember, this is the most powerful river that we have. We launched the river right here on HSN, which was monumental at the time, and it continues to be cutting edge. And then we continued to make more powerful ones. But the thing is that, look, we've got the Delta Pro that we just had on 2 days ago. That's 100 pounds. This is less than 20 pounds, still gonna power 80% of your home appliances and your medical devices. I was just reading a lot of reviews before I came out here because I wanted to really just touch on all the things that you talk about. So really, even just a CPAP machine, I'm just gonna turn this CPAP machine on. And we talk about medical devices for serious needs. I wanna go right here to the very front of this display because I wanna show you, that's not saying 25 minutes or 24 minutes, that's saying 25 hours. Right. For your CPAP machine. I don't think you would think that for one of our rivers that's sub $400. 24 hours, okay, now we're down to 8 hours. This is gonna be your, this is what I thought it was gonna be, full night. That's a full night for your CPAP machine. That's unbelievable amount of power. If you're thinking, okay, look, if I have a medical device, if I wanna make it through that night with my CPAP machine, that is really, really the most important thing that you can consider is how am I gonna do it? This is one great way to consider it, as well as plugging in your phones, your tablets, so you can continue to have all of that open communication and you still even have that DC adapter. It's jumping back up as that CPAP machine starts to level out a little bit. So you should at least get a full night's sleep with your CPAP machine. That's something to really think about. Again, remember, we're just plugging it right here into the side of our power station and still have 2 more open outlets to utilize as well. For what? Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and plug in, for instance, a heating blanket. We know right now is gonna be, of course, summertime, so we're thinking about how are we gonna stay cool. But eventually it's gonna be winter in a lot of these different places. Plug in that little heating blanket. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn that on if I can find the little button right here. In just a second, you'll start to see I'm powering up a heating blanket for roughly about 5 hours. It'll start to level out as it's not really, as it starts to pull, it kind of pulsates that power. You should get roughly about 5 to 7 hours with a heating blanket. Again, think about how are you gonna stay warm in those winter blackouts, whiteouts, even if it is for 2 hours, if it's for 5 hours, how are you gonna make sure in that situation you're gonna be able to charge your phone? That's something to also consider as well.
I think there's you know, obviously so much of what's been said we know and appreciate and accept. We all know somebody who's been caught up in torrential flooding or a winter storm or a wildfire or a hurricane or an earthquake. It's horrendous, it's terrible, there's nothing like it, right? And our hearts hurt for anybody that's been affected, from the Maui wildfires, obviously, to the situation we had here in Florida just a week ago. Power is everything. You can see me right now because we have that camera that you're watching me on plugged in. You can see me because we've got lights on because there's power powering that. Everything's to do with power. So when you don't have power, everything stops. When everything stops, that's when things get scary. If you have a backup power generator, things feel a bit more normal. And at $399, I'm just so proud that this is now at a price point that we can all afford to have something like this at home for those emergencies. You buy this one time, remember, and because of the flex pay, you're only spending, it's like $80, and we ship it out to you right now with free shipping and handling. Heck, you know how much it'd be to ship something like this. It'd be probably, you know, the cost of the whole unit, the way things are these days. This is something that will solve a problem and will take a lot of pressure off of you. It will give you a sense of relief, and the fear will, in some sense, be a little subsided, because you know that if there is an emergency, if there is a natural disaster, if something unexpected happens, we know we can power the vital things, the modem, the router, the refrigerator, the fan, the heater, the nebulizer, you know, the television, the computer, whatever it may be. Again, it's the only Ecoflow that I could hold like this and throw around like this, because it is so portable and so user-friendly. With the orders that are placed, I have 375 left, 375. There are no other presentations. I have the $2,000 Ecoflows, I have the $1,700 Ecoflows, I have other things that are this big that power your mobile phone, but in this price point, there's just nothing else like it. To give you some example of all these Ecoflow presentations over the years, I have never presented this, ever. After your feedback saying, I don't want to spend this much, but I need something more than that, what do you have in the middle? This is what we had, and I was able to get it in for our show tonight for Labor Day. So you're the only one that can order it. Once we sell this out in the next 15 minutes, it is gone. Hopefully, with your response, the team will bring it back next year, but we can't wait till next year. We need it now. Again, when you have it now, you feel such a sense of relief. We are now falling under 350 left. In the next 5 minutes, you'll see us officially go limited quantity. I know this is a rush, and I don't want you to feel rushed. I think, obviously, Justin, and you hear from so many people, recent events shine such a spotlight on the importance of being prepared. Yeah.
What are the important things, right? The important things are our family, our food, our water, our essentials, the things that we need in life, and of course, even power. So I'm walking back here because I want you to think, how nice would it be to pick this up, literally pick this up, and just walk over to wherever you need. And when you talk about, you know, the things that we think about today, if you've ever been out of power recently, or maybe you don't want to be in the future, or you have been in the past, the first thing you think about is your refrigerator, because we never know when that lights are gonna flash, the thunder's gonna hit. We need to be prepared for moments like this. I've got that full-size refrigerator right here. It looks like I've got it already plugged in. Maybe, you know what would be funny? Now that would be funny.
Go on. Oh,
they plugged it in the back on me.
April Fool's Day.
Okay, but imagine, okay, for a second, that you could plug it right here into your power station. How simple that would be. You know, with the other ones, I'd have to go ahead and set this down, and I'd have to go ahead and put it on the table right here. I wouldn't be able to hold it the way that I am. In fact, you know what? Since the light's out, why don't I put my flashlight on really quickly? Now I've got a flashlight to see everything that's going on, so I'm not sitting in a dark home. But maybe you don't want a flashlight. I'm just going to go ahead and plug the refrigerator. Not really, obviously, since we have it still plugged in the back. I'm going to put this one down really quick because I want to go over to the one that I've got set up right here. Your lights and your fans. I was talking about plugging in your refrigerator. Let's plug the light and the fan in right over here because, yeah, you know what? We don't want to be sitting in a dark home. All I need to do is plug them into the side. In just 2 seconds, my light and my fan is going to turn on. Now, I'm not sitting in a hot home. I'm not sitting in a dark home. But remember, this is going to show you exactly how long it's going to run all of those different devices for. This isn't something when you pick it up, it's just meant for my phone. It's just meant for my tablet. No. This is meant for your appliances, 80% of your home appliances. 16 hours, that's not minutes, 16 hours for your light and for your fan. Think about how long you might be out of power for. You don't know. The unknowns are the things that we talk about all the time. We just simply don't know. So you need to be prepared for maybe it's not 2 hours, maybe it's 10 hours. Know that you got your light and your fan, and then you know what? Then you can still plug your phone in and not just charge it 5 times, not 10 times, not 20 times, nearly 60 times you can recharge your phone. 60 times. That's the power that you're getting with this. And yes, yeah, although we have the refrigerator plugged in, consider that as well. Being able to know that you can run your refrigerator and your freezer for all the money and all the food and all the essentials that you pick up. Recently, Adam, with that hurricane, I can tell you, you know what everybody does? Because I was there. they go to the grocery store.
Yes, it's true.
Okay? And it is pandemonium. It's food, it's water. Well, I will say water, because the shelves, you see the pictures on the news, it's like all the water's gone. Yeah. Yes, the water first. Why? It's essential. Do you know what is number 3 on that list behind water and food? Power. How are we going to keep all of that food and water that we just invested in for the storm? Well, we're going to keep it powered with our Ecoflow. And it's power without limits now, because you know what you don't have to worry about? You don't have to worry about gasoline, which means if you live in your apartment, if you live in your condo, well, now you've got an option. But I like what you keep going back to, Adam, which is, yes, it's a price point, but ultimately it's a size. This weighing less than 20 pounds gives you that confidence that you can literally pick this up and carry it. This is manageable power for so many of you out there. And again, powering limitlessly. And the fact that, of course, when we have that solar panel connected to this, you know, one of the things I do want to mention, because I'm not sure that we even have it on .com, but you can get this elsewhere. Right here on the side, I'm just going to go ahead and unplug the light and the fan. When we launched this River Pro, this was the very first model that you can actually expand. So although this is 720 watt hours, we can go ahead and double all of the time that we're showing you today with that extra battery to 1,440 watt hours. So just something to consider. I know we talk about it a lot, Adam, which is Ecoflow has the ecosystem that we create. When you buy and invest in something like this, it's cutting edge, and we made sure that we have the option for you to grow with this, even when it comes to the power.
And that is nice, because the money is never wasted. If you find yourself in a situation where you move into a bigger house, or there's more family members and you need more power, well, you can buy additional units that all connect together. So that's wonderful. So it's money well spent. With everybody placing their orders, 220 now left before we're sold out. We have around 13 minutes. I don't think it's going to make it based upon the velocity that we're seeing in terms of the sales. Last call going out. The solar panel that you just saw on the side of your screen, there's fewer than 100 now, but you don't have to buy the solar panel by any means. The solar panel essentially gives you free, eternal energy. So if there was a prolonged power outage, you could take your Ecoflow outside, it's connected to the solar panel, and that gives you the rays of the sun's power to recharge it. By the way, it recharges 0 to 80% in like 60 minutes. It's one of the fastest recharge rates in the industry. Even if you don't buy this tonight, if I could encourage you to consider Ecoflow as a company, you might have seen the commercials, the adverts, that they really are blazing a trail. They are the innovators, the leaders, the entrepreneurs in this field, and they have made just cutting edge technology accessible and affordable. You know, we're proud of what we've done over the past month, being able to bring you the best of the best at $399. Now we are attacking an area that has not been really fulfilled. Let's get a system that is super affordable. Heck, it might be portable power for tailgating, for camping, for whatever you want. But at home, let's get a system that is accessibly priced, affordably priced, and is there if we need it and when we need it. 10 minutes or sell out, whichever happens first. Obviously, as we now fall to under 200 and something, I think less than 200 now. If you don't love this, you can always return it for a refund of the purchase price, but you have to try Ecoflow. You plug things in as you normally would because of the regular outlets. The on button is an easy on button. It's not like a traditional, gas generator where there's a hand crank and you're filling it up and there's gas and there's fumes and there's noise, and it's not particularly user-friendly. This is not like that. It's a joy to use. So with that being said, I'd love to send one to you. Obviously, hurricane season's still in full force here in Florida, but as we get into wintertime and winter storms and everything else that goes along with the unpredictability of the weather, it's an investment you make and know that you've always got it there. We've had a lot of calls over the past couple of years, Justin, it's the little luxuries in life, but it's also for some life necessities you might need power.
Well, I mean, look, there's a reason why we read about dialysis machines, oxygen machines, nebulizers, CPAP machines, because again, when I talk about, we're all different, we all have different necessities. My sister's type 1 diabetic. We need to make sure that refrigerator stays cool. I just ran around back, made sure that we unplugged it so that I can actually show you this, because I want you to see this, because this is really something that I think is one of the most important demos that we do. Again, refrigerator powers off, lightning hits, whatever might happen in your life, for whatever necessity you may have. Just simply knowing that this weighing less than 20 pounds, all I need to do is just simply come over to the refrigerator and plug it in. How nice would that be? We talked about just normality. We talk about comfort. This is what comfort looks like right here. Just simply walking over to the refrigerator and plugging it in. Not having to worry about pull crank, not have to worry about gas, not have to worry about, am I gonna be able to pick that up? Am I gonna feel confident that, yeah, you know, I know it'll work, but am I gonna be able to have the manageability to be able to carry this over to the refrigerator? Absolutely. Plugging it right here. And then the other thing is, it's showing me right here, it's roughly about 20, it's saying about 30 hours right here on my refrigerator with the refrigerator and freezer closing. I don't know if that's just because the compressor's not running, but that is unbelievable amount of time. I'll hold that still so you can see that display. That's showing you exactly how long it's gonna run that refrigerator for. That's your refrigerator. That's your freezer. That is normality. That's what that looks like. So now all of the food that you've got in there, in your fridge, in your freezer, maybe medicine, that's the peace of mind. I wanted to make sure that I showed you that because that is one of the most demonstrable things when it comes to our home, is being able to know that we've got that peace of mind, that we've got the power to do what I just showed you. And remember, just a second ago, I told you, you can expand this. You can double the amount of time on any of the things that we plugged in here. I'm gonna walk back over to Mr. Adam Freeman because you know what? That's the beauty of something like this, is not feeling like you're just stuck in one spot. Our Delta Pro is the only one with wheels, and it's 100 pounds. It's also $2,600. This right here, the reason why, you know, Adam, I know you requested this is, we wanted to make sure that, yeah, we had a great kind of just sweet spot right there for you where you felt like, you know what, that might be too big, that might be too much. This right here is gonna be that perfect size and still powering 80% of your home appliances.
And that's the joy of it. It really does fulfill our needs at a price that is so much more accessible. We are now, as you can see, officially limited quantity, last call going out. The demands on Ecoflow as a company over the past month, 6 weeks, have been, as you would imagine, huge, with most retailers facing shortages, simply not having them in stock, taking advanced orders. The reason we have such a great relationship with Ecoflow is because we launched Ecoflow about 3 years ago. So they always bring HSN the best of the best, but this is the only presentation of the River Pro. It's the only time. So we have the other ones that are $2,600 or $1,800, but this is $399. So if you don't have a massive property, a massive house, you don't have a house full of people, this is going to be so ideal to keep the computer running, the modem, the router, the refrigerator, the television. Let's keep them going. Let's keep them going for several hours. This will be able to take care of that for you. So if you'd like to order, soon you'll see our 4-minute clock, and that will be really a good guide as to truly how long we've got before it's going to be down to final numbers. If you've never shopped with HSN before, we accept all the major credit cards, debit cards, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover. And as always, whatever you buy, if you don't like it, you can return it for a refund of the purchase price. On a lighter note, in our next hour, we have a hand massager, which we're very excited about. We also have an amazing hearing aid launch from Go Prime, and something else which I've completely forgotten, but I believe it is, wait for it, what is it? It's no athlete, I said that one. Gateway, it's Gateway. Justin, it's a busy night. I can barely keep up. Help me, Justin.
Well, you know, every time I see that hand massager, my dad, he's got terrible arthritis.
My mom too.
And I'm just sitting here thinking, well, he did lose his hair. I lost my hair. He's got arthritis. I'm probably gonna have arthritis.
I'll get you one, Justin.
Thank you.
I'll get you, but I'll put your name down on one.
Would you?
Find out what the hand massager is all about. It is coming up. 6 minutes left. We do have a little hold. hsn.com is going to be your fastest way in. You can also scan the QR code. But if you just want to call us, that is A-OK as well. Justin, take me through the out-of-the-box experience.
Yeah.
I order my Ecoflow. I'm going to get it in just a few days. I take it out of the box. Do I charge it immediately?
I would say absolutely charge it immediately. You know, sometimes it'll come 100%, but more often than not, it won't. But the great thing is that's what your first experience is that you have the fastest recharge rate in the industry. So you get it there, you get it at home, you're gonna wanna make sure that it's at 100%. You take it out of the box. Remember, it's not something that's gonna be too heavy. You simply take it out and you plug it in. Where are you gonna be plugging it in? You're gonna be plugging it in right here onto the side of your Ecoflow, your River Pro. Right here, just one simple cable. It's not a big box because the inverter is actually built into the unit itself. So it's just one simple cable and that's it. And then of course, if you are considering picking it up with a solar panel that we do have available on .com, you can recharge it that way as well. But the first out-of-box experience is the packaging is unbelievable. I know that doesn't seem like, oh, well, that's why I want to get it. But ultimately, when you do invest in Ecoflow, you get unbelievable experience out of the box immediately. Great customer experience, great customer support as well, great warranties that are backed by a lot of our products as well too. So it's just overall just an unbelievable experience. And then of course knowing that you might be getting it at the tail end of summer, but this is still something when we talk about the experiences. You get it out of the box and then you get to use it wherever. Yeah. It's not something that's going to stay in one spot. That's what we love about and when you invest in Ecoflow is that this is something that you're going to invest in for the simplicity of it, knowing that if this was a gas generator, if this was a propane generator, what would you need to do to get that ready? What's that out-of-box experience? Well, I can tell you because I've owned one. You need to make sure that you put the oil in. You need to make sure you've got oil. You need to make sure that you get gas. And then you need to have a place to put that gas generator or propane generator. So those are things that you don't need to think about when you talk about out-of-box experience with your Ecoflow. You just simply put it wherever you want it to live, and then when you want to use it, you pick it up and you go ahead and use it, and then you recharge it, and you do that over and over and over with your River Pro.
And again, with this particular model, unlike any other Ecoflow, it is so portable that we might be in the living room powering the television, but the power's still not on. We'll take this up to the bedroom because we can carry it. So there's a lot of benefits to the River Pro. 2 or 3 minutes left. We do see you. We have a few dozen now remaining for it's completely sold out. Again, this is not returning, folks. You are watching the only scheduled presentation. It was done especially for us on Open House because of you, because I had so much feedback from people saying, I don't want to spend $3,000. What else do you have that can also help solve some of the problems? $399 is the lowest priced Ecoflow ever. And I think when you get it, you'll be so impressed and so happy. It's better to be prepared. Justin, obviously, when it comes to technology, it's changing, everything changes.
Oh, absolutely.
The world of generators, you just said what we all think of when we say generator. It doesn't have to be like that anymore.
And it isn't that way anymore. That's the exciting thing about owning an Ecoflow is that it isn't that anymore. When we launched, stuff like this just simply didn't exist. We think about the way that electric vehicles have now changed the way that we travel, and we now think about that and apply that same mentality to our gas and our propane generators. It's not like that anymore, and it doesn't need to be like that anymore, which also is why I always say power without limits. There's always been limitations on all of us. If you live in an apartment or condo, your limitation is you simply can't own a gas or propane generator. And now when we even think about limits with Ecoflow, there is no limit to how small and or how